and cheese. Everybody looking cooking with legs. I got asked a few weeks ago to make mac and cheese. I do this every once in a while. My kids love it. I'm personally not a big fan, but they love it. So with it though, I'm gonna make some chorizo sausage. Just kind of break it down out the casing, a little bit of jalapeno, a little bit of pepper. Kind of cook all of that down and add in the chorizo. I'm gonna mix that in with my wife and I's portion of it and let them have just the mac and cheese because they're not gonna like the chorizo. It's too spicy. I love chorizo. So for the mac and cheese though, I'm gonna make quick roux. 1 stick butter, about ½ cup flour. Get it nice and smooth. Add in some heavy cream and some milk, about equal parts. You want to get it nice and thick, but not too thick. You want about the consistency of gumbo, where it'll coat the back of the spoon. And then fresh cheese. Don't use that bag crap. Using extra sharp cheddar, fresh, extra sharp. Swiss, and I'm doing some smoked Gouda. Gotta grate this down right now. One tip: after you get the roux done and you add in the milk and the heavy cream, don't blast it with heat. It'll separate. You want it kind of low when you're adding in the cheese. You want the cheese to just kind of melt in there. Once the cheese is melted, kill the heat, dump the pasta in, fold it all together. I'm using a Dutch oven, so we're just gonna use the same pot. I'm using half of the cheese I shred here and the sauce. The other half is gonna go on top. Then that's gonna go in the oven, 350 for about 12 to 15 minutes. I'm gonna take the top off the last 5 minutes to get the top a little crisp. Done. Really easy. Let's get done. Let's get this shredded, I should say. This is where I don't believe in using that bag stuff. This isn't really a complicated process. It just takes 5 minutes. And you get a much better product out of it. Again, we start off with a blonde roux. We're just going to drop in a stick of butter and let that melt. And then we'll throw some flour in there. So that's melting. We're going to start the clips of water for pasta. ½ cup of flour. Just going to keep working at it. And then turn the heat down if it's getting too hot. Just see how smooth that is? It's not lumpy. Add the milk. A little bit at a time. Should work out to be about 2 cups of milk and 2 cups of heavy cream by the time it's said and done. Take cooking class for understanding how this really works. You know that with the roux is made to thicken things. Gumbos, sauces in general, cream sauces. I mean, you don't want to use cream, but you want to use milk or something like that. Roux is a really good thickening agent, kind of like cornstarch. Only roux is better. It's better at carrying flavor, in my opinion. But nonetheless, you don't know how thick your roux is going to get something until that something is almost boiling. When you mess with cream and milk, if you get it too hot, it'll separate unless you slowly bring up the heat. Now, I have this heat on low, and if you can see now, I'll turn the camera, you can see it's getting thick already. So it's about, I know this is going to turn into tar if I let it stay where it's at. And add some more milk. And add the cream a little bit. And that's going to make it even thicker. So I don't want to have, this flour will turn into almost a cake if I keep it going at the rate it was going. See how thick that got just in the time I was talking, and I added more milk to this. And now I'm going to add some seasoning to it because I want the seasoning to cook in it a little bit before I add the cheese. I'm going to add a little bit of crushed red pepper. Not a whole lot, because you got to figure milk fat's going to kill some of the heat out of that. A little bit of paprika. Yeah, not a whole lot. Just a little bit of cayenne pepper. And let this, you can always add later, I can't take out. So I'm going to start there. See how this works after it gets heated up. All right, this is the perfect consistency right now for me. When I say running off the back of the spoon, this is what they mean. Spoon goes in, that comes out. You can see it running off the spoon. But it's still staying on the back. That's what they mean by coating the back of the spoon. That's where I want this for me, for the way I like to do this. You want it thicker? Make it thicker. You want it thinner? Make it thinner. Easy cooking. Do not always have it your way when you're the one cooking. I had to clean that lens off. That was pretty hideous. I apologize. Y'all had to look through all the fuzzy fuzz. I go. There's roughly about half of the Swiss. Right. The cheddar will be next, and then the Gouda will be last. Let's work that in together. Add in the cheddar, roughly about half. All right, so we got the Gouda all mixed in there. And to me, this is perfect for what I'm going for anyway. Pasta's just about there. Just going to give that another minute or two. Then we're going to combine them. We add a pound of cellentanipasta. All right. Fold this all together. And then we top it with more cheese. Because what the world needs is more cheese. Now, when I do this, try and make that top layer a little even. So right here, we're going to go ahead and saute half an onion, a whole jalapeno, and half of a orange bell pepper, whatever color bell pepper you like. After that gets a little sweated down, we're going to go ahead and drop in 2 toes of garlic and let that cook till it's fragrant, and then we'll go ahead and add the chorizo. Really? So this is done. I'm just going to set this on the side and wait for the pasta to get the mac and cheese to get done and pull that out, and we'll be back in a few minutes with the final product. Thank you for watching. Kudos. Have some chorizo.